WMTW News 8 political reporter. Paul Merrill had a front row seat tonight, and Paul, you joins us live with more.
David, while people could have paid $1,000 apiece to get into a VIP area and take a picture with President Clinton, this event was technically free. Clinton was not paid. The purpose of this rally wasn't necessarily to raise money, but rather to energize Michoud supporters in the weeks leading up to an election that will determine the future of Maine for the next 4 years. In the hours before tonight's rally started, everyone was talking about how uncomfortably hot it was inside Portland's Expo Center.
It's a little hot.
Just a little?
Yeah, but we're excited.
About 1,600 faithful Democrats put up with the unpleasant atmosphere to see Bill Clinton and help support Mike Michoud.
Mike is a dedicated civil servant and dedicated to people of Maine, and certainly Governor LePage has not lived up to anybody's expectations in my book.
Governor LePage's temperament was something many of the candidates here tonight hit on.
He is too divisive and too wedded to his ideology and too unwilling to listen to anyone who has the audacity to disagree with him.
Though President Clinton never mentioned Governor LePage by name, Clinton talked about the problems of staunchly adhering to an ideology.
Ideology gets in your way and makes you do dumb things.
Clinton did what Michoud's campaign is trying to do, frame the congressman as a consensus builder.
I'm like all of you. I like Mike. I like Mike because he has a philosophy but not an ideology. He believes things very deeply. He cares about them very much. He'll fight for what he believes in, but he's not going to tell you that he's got all the answers in advance, and he doesn't care what you think.
A spokesman for the LePage campaign responded tonight. President Clinton is certainly a top surrogate, but even the star power of President Clinton has a hard time selling a congressman who failed to pass a single bill in Congress in his 12 years of being there. This from independent candidate Eliot Cutler's campaign. The problems of Maine people will not be solved by an ex-president of the United States, by the governor of New Jersey, or by their political parties. David, Election Day is 2 months from this Thursday. Live in Portland tonight, Paul Merrill, WMTW News 8.
And Paul, I know you offered both the Cutler and LePage campaigns opportunities to respond on camera. Why do you think they were just okay with sending us written statements?
I think because you just don't compete with the star power politically of somebody like Bill Clinton. The Michoud campaign is unlikely to bring President Obama here because that would simply cost them too much money. So Clinton's about as good as it's going to get. I think the other two campaigns probably figured they'd just write this day off. Back to you in the studio.